All right, our next bout is our co-main event. It's the heavyweights again at 265. It's presented by Mad Tatter Studios. It's undefeated Ben Rowland at 4-0 out of Middlesboro, Kentucky, taking on the champion in the heavyweight division, Kyle Jessee at 5-2-1 out of Striker MMA in Bristol, Virginia. Can't wait for this heavyweight bout here, Casey.
Well, Kyle Jessee, of course, known for his wars with guys like Michael Snap, you know, just a warrior, and that culminated becoming the Apex heavyweight champion, and now he faces Ben Rowland, who is one of the hottest prospects. Very surprising to a lot of people because, again, Ben Rowland pushing 40 years of age, 39 years old, and you would expect a guy that age to be slowing down. He's picking up steam, man. Big finishes, 4-0, and it's Kyle Jessee, who is a very decorated fighter. Is he going to have the answer for the absolute onslaught of Ben Rowland?
Two fighters ranked in the amateur heavyweight rankings at ValorFights.com. Ben Rowland is 8th, and he's undefeated at 4-0 out of Third Degree MMA in Kentucky. And then, of course, the champ, Kyle Jessee, is ranked number 2, just behind Pete Pirtle out of Huntsville, Alabama, who is number 1 in the fighter rankings. And again, they'll be updated after Apex Fights 8 here tonight in Kingsport, Tennessee, alongside Casey Oxendine. I am Vince Ferrara. Let's talk a little bit about these guys, Ben Rowland and Kyle Jessee specifically. Ben Rowland at 4-0 at 39 years old. Boy, a big physical presence there in the cage.
Man. He hits so hard. You see the videos, man. He lifts, and he stays in great shape, and he trains all the time. He works with a lot of the other fighters we saw here tonight, Third Degree MMA, and he has a great positive attitude. That's the thing too, man. Always a gentleman. He was actually in the corner with Spears against one of our guys over that came up. Was such a gentleman, and but man, he packs a punch.
All right, we're ready for our fighter introductions. Back to the cage with Jennifer Oxendine.
Tatter Studios, and is for the Apex MMA Heavyweight Championship. First, fighting out of the Hog Wild red corner, please welcome to the cage the challenger, Ben Rowland.
Ben Rowland out of Third Degree MMA in Middlesboro, Kentucky, the 39-year-old, has never been past the first round. He hadn't needed to, because he's finished every single one of his fights, all victories in the first round. So does Kyle Jessee think, all right, I've gone 5 rounds before. Do I take him in the waters that he's not familiar with, or I try?
He definitely wants to take him to the deep waters. This is the thing, man. Kyle Jesse's a crafty guy. He's been training for a lot of years. He has a well-rounded game, good jiu-jitsu, good stand-up. But when you put on these little gloves, we were talking about it, and you swing for the fences, and you got the power that Ben Rowland does, it's kind of hard to take somebody into deep waters because you've got to withstand that. Can Kyle Jessee withstand that? Going in, we always carry on back and forth. How the blue corner kind of ran the show here in the early goings. Well, in the last few fights, we've seen a switch there. We've seen the red corner take back over. Ben Rowland is out of the red corner. Okay, he is the challenger. Okay, what we're going to see here is either Kyle Jessee enacting what he does, and that's a grind, a refined movement of striking and grappling, or are we going to see a freaking explosion out of Ben Rowland? I'm sure we're going to see it. Is it going to be enough to get the job done, become the new champ?
It happens often with those heavyweights, and boy, Kyle Jessee as the reigning Apex heavyweight champion does have a tough opponent in Ben Rowland, who's coming in to the cage right now. Kyle Jessee's only been finished once. That was by Dustin Long back in 2011. Ben Rowland's in the cage. Back to Jennifer Oxendine.
And his opponent out of the OEB blue corner, he is the current heavyweight champion. Please welcome to the cage, Kyle Jessee.
Kyle Jessee at 5-2-1 out of the Striker MMA camp in Bristol, Virginia at 27 years old.
And man, Ben Rowland looks the part.
Yes.
He looks the part of a champion. You know, I used to watch professional wrestling when I was a kid, and all the guys looked like him. You know, he's got that salt and pepper in his beard, just a little bit of it. You can see his age only in that, but his body, it looks like a young man.
He has put, definitely put together. Kyle Jessee making his way out to the cage. Kyle Jessee, his last bout, beat CJ Glenn at Apex Fight 7 in the first round by verbal submission.
Utterly dominant in that fight.
Take a look at the tail of the tape. You see the records rolling at 4-0. Jessee at 5-2-1. Jessee, 12 years younger, is the champion than Ben Rowland. Rowland 2 inches taller than Jessee. And then how about the weight difference there at 15.5 pounds?
I don't know that weight difference is going to negate the 2-pound height advantage or just the sheer barrage ability of Ben Rowland. But I'll say this, Kyle Jessee is the champ, and he's the champion for a reason. Like I said, CJ Glenn, known for being a very physical athlete, he crumbled beneath Kyle Jessee. And, you know, is he going to, the question is Jessee going to be able to enact that tonight?
Kyle Jessee had some battles with Michael Snap. You know that. Remember those?
Yeah.
Lost to Michael Snap by split decision. That went 5 rounds, of course, a title bout, and then a draw with Michael Snap back in 2014, the next month, at Valor Fights 15. That went the distance for another title fight. He is
5 rounds.
Jessee. Sorry, go ahead.
5 rounds is no easy feat for a heavyweight.
Exactly.
It's no easy feat for anyone, but for a heavyweight, it's really impressive to see the heavyweights that can do that. So again, if he takes it out this first round, you know, you might see a turn of the tide here. You might see Kyle Jessee kick it into gear. But, you know, that being said, Kyle Jessee finished in his last outing very early in the fight. Don't take it away. Don't take his chances. Don't slight those.
First title defense for Kyle Jessee. He is in the cage. Back to the cage, and Jennifer Oxendine.
This bout is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. First, out of the Hog Wild red corner, he holds a record of 4 wins and no defeats, weighed in at 238 pounds, and represents third-degree MMA in Middlesboro, Kentucky. Put your hands together for Ben Rowland. And his opponent, out of the OEB blue corner, he holds a record of 5 wins and 2 defeats, weighed in at 253 pounds, and represents Striker MMA in Bristol, Virginia. Put your hands together for Kyle Jessee.
Okay, gentlemen, this is a title fight, 3-minute rounds. Either one of you have any questions about my rules? I need you to listen and obey my commands at all times. Most importantly, protect yourselves at all times. Touch them up, back to your corners.
Jimmy Neely, our referee. This bout presented by Matt Tatter Studios. Heavyweight bout, 265, 3-minute rounds for the Kyle Jessee's heavyweight championship. Rowland in the black and the green.
Absolutely.
Jessee
Ben
in
Rowland
the white.
come out. Look at this. Jessee already on his back. Look at Jessee, the veteran. He's kind of hiding that head. He ended up on his back. Rowland using those power shots. Striker MMA in full effect here tonight. They're cheering along Kyle Jessee, but he has a tall order ahead of him. Big shot there by Ben Rowland.
The jab, and he just missed with that big right.
Kyle Jessee, look for him to try to close that distance. Get this fight to the ground. Get big Ben Rowland on his back. Another big shot there by Rowland. Now Jessee pressing Rowland against the cage here.
Rowland seemed to be unfazed by anything Jessee was throwing his way.
So much power. Now Ben Rowland unloading on Kyle Jessee here. Another big shot.
Well, that jab effective for Rowland. Jesse's face already showing the effects of Rowland's shots.
And that's what we talked about. If he can stand it, you saw Jessee try to loop out of the way, caught a big right hand, continues to take a barrage.
Rowland dominating the start of this first round.
Rowland has absolutely no respect for the power of Kyle Jessee right now. So he is absolutely unloading here. But if Kyle Jessee can weather that storm, what will we see moving into the later part of this round and into round 2?
Jessee really no offense. Stuck a jab in there. And
That's the thing, you know, if Ben Rowland, if he gasses, if he blows it here early, then is that going to give Kyle Jessee the opportunity? Another big shot. Look at this. Now Kyle Jessee may be popping back, you know, playing the antics a little bit. Very refined movement there by Kyle Jessee. Takes another one on the chin.
Another exchange.
And fires back. Big props to Kyle Jessee. He is in this fight.
Rowland is not overexerting himself, however.
Oh, that was
there he
another
is.
big shot.
Just as I said that, he slipped coming in.
Oh, look at that, catches him. Takes down Kyle Jessee. Jessee right back up. Takes more shots for his trouble. I think there's no chance here that Kyle Jessee can take this first round, but he may have gained a moral victory in lasting for the first time in Ben Rowland's career.
Rowland has finished all of his fights in the first round. But there's 20 seconds left in this first round here.
Like I said, this could be the strategy of Kyle Jessee to bleed off that power. Look at this, Kyle Jessee now using that refined technique in the closing moments of round 1.
And a punch misses at the end, and Ben Rowland is going to the second round for the first time in his career. A bloody nose for Kyle Jessee. Clearly Ben Rowland in that first round,
Completely
right?
Ben Rowland, but that being said, you know, you thought that right out of the gate that Kyle Jessee was going to be in trouble, but he weathered the storm. He continued to weather the storm, and then about 3/4 of the way through, he started almost taunting Ben Rowland. He's catching those shots, and you got to watch. Ben Rowland's dropping his hands. If he starts to bleed off and tire a little bit, he may start to take shots because he's keeping his hands too low.
Take us to this replay here.
Well, right here, it's all Ben Rowland. He's continued to drive forward, throwing big shots. Kyle Jessee moving about the way he needs to in order to survive. But man, you see that mouse under the eye of Kyle Jessee, but he is still here. He is our champion. He's the champ for a reason.
Well, and you mentioned it. Rowland didn't look like he respected any of the power of Kyle Jessee.
No, but they had a fist bump at the end of that first. I don't know if he respects the tenacity of Kyle Jessee, or if he's just a gentleman.
He may respect it, but maybe doesn't fear the power.
Absolutely.
And we're underway. Round number 2, 3 3-minute rounds for Kyle Jessee's heavyweight championship. He's in the white trunks.
Now again, Ben Rowland continues to drop that right hand and keep it low every time he throws. If Kyle Jessee can start to time him.
Jessee, a lot of looping punches.
But Ben Rowland showing no signs of slowing down whatsoever.
Interesting, Rowland chased after him.
Ben Rowland possibly looking for a guillotine. Transitions to the underhook. Continues to throw shots, but this is Kyle Jessee's chance to finish. He does have the ankle. He finishes the takedown. If he can pull his head out of there and drive Ben Rowland to the ground, this could be a turn of events here.
Surprised.
If I'm in Ben Rowland's corner, I would say pull that left arm out and post, because now Kyle Jessee is in a great spot in this fight.
Surprised Rowland chased after him when he went down, and that opened himself up to now being on the mat underneath.
Yes. And Ben Rowland now closing the guard. Jesse's face becoming the crimson mask, if you will. But man, he is here. He is our champion, and he is fighting hard against the powerhouse Ben Rowland.
Jessee going.
Again, Jessee advancing past the guard into full mount.
Wow.
Now he needs to watch here close to the cage, though.
You see the blood on the face of Jessee, but he is on top. Minute and a half gone by in round number 2.
Kyle Jessee possibly taking over here in this fight. He's got a minute and a half in this round to get a finish.
Ben Rowland in some trouble here after dominating the first round.
Oh, and Ben Rowland transitioning out.
Wow. And you could tell how tired Jessee is.
But did that take something out of Ben Rowland? Did he use a lot of energy there underneath Kyle Jessee? Did Kyle Jessee do enough to secure the round?
Rowland, though, is trying to change the judge's mind if they weren't in his
Now,
favor.
if Jessee's able to secure a second takedown, this might be enough to take the round. The first round you got to look at for Ben Rowland. It could even have been a 10-8 round. It was so utterly dominant. Kyle Jessee looking like an old schooler Pedro Hizzo from the UFC, always cut but never undaunted.
Jessee hands down, though, right now.
Oh,
big
Kyle
right.
Jessee taking big shots here. Those are hard shots, teetering about, and delivers a right leg kick.
Rowland is cut now as well.
Oh, big shots there by Jessee, stiff jabs.
Rowland has never gotten into the second round. He's going to go to the
those
third.
hands down by his waist. I mean, it's got to be close. I don't know that you might not give that second one to Rowland as well.
Right.
Because he landed so many shots. You did have Kyle Jessee on top. It might be that you see, maybe two judges going one way and one judge going the other way. It's hard to look at Kyle Jessee's face and say he won that second round, but he did have some very dominant parts.
He was on top. And take us through the replay here.
All right, here, Kyle Jessee, very refined, very, comfortable, even though he was actually taking a beating. But Ben Rowland just loading up, landing big shots, and being super, super dominant. It appeared to have hurt Jessee there. Jessee fires back with a big right kick right off of that.
I don't know if, and you may disagree, I don't know that Jessee was offensive enough when he was on top. Because it wasn't like he took Rowland down. Rowland went to him when Jessee was down and sort of.
He reversed and pulled Rowland down and did complete the takedown. But yeah, he didn't take him for a ride by any means. But he did have his moments, and he did advance the mount, and he spent some time there. But damage goes into the direction of Ben Rowland for sure.
Third round underway, third and final round for Jesse's heavyweight championship in the amateur ranks in Apex.
I said this before, Jessee needs that Cinderella man come from behind right now if he's going to maintain this title.
Rowland now looping instead of jabbing. Then he sticks the jab again. Big overhand.
Big overhand by Ben Rowland, taking over now.
Jessee has got to do something than just stand there. He is, you're right, he's shown a lot of technique.
Tell you what, this is one of those that would have almost been great to go 5. You know what I mean? Because it's a war. It's been a war.
And Jessee now bleeding a lot from the nose. He is taking a beating, and he's losing this fight if he keeps in this position.
Yeah.
Rowland raining shots in.
Oh, that kick mattered. Blood going everywhere. Kyle Jessee sensing that blood, but Ben Rowland fires back yet again.
Wow, look at all the blood on Jessee. That's all from Jessee. The champ on the brink here as we're near the midway point of the third and final round.
What a war we've had here. I told you I love heavyweights. These guys have not disappointed.
Rowland's hands down, but he's still punching. And he's landed the more significant strikes in this bout. Jessee continues to wipe off blood. Rowland continues to throw, uppercut, left.
And props to Rowland there. He switches it up. He throws big looping punches out of nowhere. He throws the uppercut. It's on point. Oh, those are big shots.
Wow.
I don't know how Kyle Jessee is still standing. What a chin on this individual.
No doubt. And most of those kicks really not
Less than a minute.
Couple jabs landed by Jessee. Rowland didn't chase after Jessee. Look at all the blood on Kyle Jessee. Goodness.
What a co-main event here. Fight of the night has already been given out. I don't know that this one would not have been a front runner for that.
The volume from Rowland. He's never gone past the first round.
He still looks great. Still moving. I don't like that his hands are low, but man, as you've seen, it doesn't matter. He delivers so much so frequently.
Jesse's still inviting him in while he's eating shots. 20 seconds left. Could it be the final 20 seconds of Kyle Jesse's championship tenure? Big blood coming from the right eye.
10 seconds.
Ben Rowland rains down another right, another jab, a right and a left. and that'll close it out.
Absolute brutality.
Wow.
What a fight here in my estimation. We've got a new champion, Ben Rowland. You never know. Of course, it is in the judges' hands here tonight, but man, what a showing of dominance by the man, the big guy, Ben Rowland.
Man.
But man, hats off to Kyle Jessee, though. My goodness, he is still
chin.
standing there. I don't know how.
That chin, unbelievable. All of the blood. Kyle Jessee is proud. And man, what a performance by Ben Rowland.
Ben Rowland with a little battle scar there. I don't know that I've ever seen him marked ever before. He's got a little one there under the left eye, but he is excited. He is happy.
Wow. We'll take a look at the replay here in 1 second, but Ben Rowland answered the bell. He had never been passed through the end of the first round. He ended up being on his back for a while in round number 2. And take us through this replay here, Casey.
Well, here it is. You know, Ben Rowland just loading up those strikes, man, landing multitudes and multitudes of combinations. You know, a lot of people say he's an old man. He's in the 3rd round, and he's throwing 4s and 5s and 6s and landing on the champs.
And the use of the jab, you don't see enough guys do it. Frankly, you don't see it in boxing, much less in MMA. But really, so effective with that jab tonight. A stiff jab, too, not just a tap.
Yeah. And, you know, you're going to see win, lose, or draw. You're going to see the Kyle Jessee, who carried that strap so proudly. You know, you're going to see him back. He's still a youngster.
Kyle Jessee, only 27 years old. Ben Rowland at 39. We're going to go to the judges' scorecards for this heavyweight championship held by Kyle Jessee. Will Ben Rowland win the title? We are about to find out here at Apex Fights 8 at Sullivan North High School. All right, we are ready for the official decision of the judges' scorecards. Back to the cage and Jennifer Oxendine.
After 3 rounds, we go to your judges for decision. All 3 judges score this fight